Hi, this is Kerry Artag with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. But before we check out the charts, I just want to ask you to please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Tesla and daily NVIDIA reports, daily analysis in the SPY, daily analysis in the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and Apple stock, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor, always looking for 20% moves or more on those underlying stocks. And you get to see all of this for free. We offer a 5-day free trial up front. So check out wickedstocks.com. Let's take a look at the charts to start with the big picture, of course, and that is the fact that we are still in a longer-term buy signal. Sorry about that. A longer-term buy signal from a month ago when we closed above a one-year descending channel top that is now at 203.83. This is a weekly chart that goes back over 5 years. Over 4 years. Holding above 203.83 maintains a 3 to 5 month objective at 328.12, and that has been the case for a month now. And in fact, we could see 328.12 by the end of September, perhaps. I'm kind of taking a guess there, but it really is a holding above this speed line. This is the daily chart now at 241.41. So this is a rising 1/3 speed line based entirely on the April low against the July high. We fell back to it on Friday. It held. It is trend-defining support, able to contain weekly selling pressures. We may open in this vicinity on Wednesday. The earnings report drove this market down modestly, at least as of this recording, which is like 10 minutes after the report. So I'm not sure exactly where we're going to open, but as long as we open at or above 241.41, this buy signal that played out a month ago and its secondary support at 241.41 remains firmly intact. So holding above 241.41, I can outline. Actually, I'm going to jump to this chart. This shows both the day trade and the 1 to 2 week swing trade. So over the next week or two, anticipating really this 270.84 to 277.73 region. So if you buy 241.41, if you're long the market presently, anticipating that low to upper 270s resistance over the next week or two, great. If we close below 241.41 today, that's another story. But for the day itself, we do have 256.56. This is a revised intraday resistance level. You can see that as an intraday containment level. Solid day trade, buying 41.41, selling 56.56, pushing through 56.56, and then anticipating 63.26 is another day trade in itself. 263.26 is the high settlement price so far following that April low. That was just a couple of weeks ago, and it can contain daily buying pressures. And if we close above 263.23, I think tomorrow, Thursday, you can expect 270.84, and that is the beginning of, yes, a wide zone up to 277.73 that can absorb buying through next week, and from there we can fall away again to a new rising 1/3 speed line. I say new because if we test 277.73, we take out that high from a couple of weeks ago, and every time you take out the high, you reconstruct its rising or the rising 1/3 speed line. I'll also show you that if we were to close above that 277.73 level, say over the next week or two, you can imagine we've got just another 3 to 5 weeks before testing 328.12. So let's say that we close above 277.73 the first week of August. You could say that by the end of August, early September, we could actually reach that 328.12 long-term resistance area, which remains a 3 to 5 month objective anyway, above 203.83. Now, will we retest 203.83? Let me get to that. And that 241.41 rising 1/3 speed line is trend defining. And if we close below it today, then yes, 203.32 is that same formation on the daily chart, and preceding it is 209.25. So the way I would see this setting up, let's talk today. breaking or opening below 241.41 does signal 231.30, and that is this gap high here going back several weeks. We gapped above it and continued higher. We fell back. We fell short of that gap. The gap has not been closed. It closes at 231.30, and we could get a decent intraday bounce there. If we break 231.30 early in the day, 220.50 is in reach, and that is about as far south as I would expect this market to go. 220.50 is the downside 3/8 Fibonacci from the July high against that more recent April low. And once again, closing below 241.41, no good reason to be long Tesla, in my opinion, if your time horizon is 2 to 3 weeks out, because over that 2 to 3 weeks, I am expecting the low 200s, 203.32 to 209.25. Now, the timing of all this is how should I put this? 209.25 is rising. 203.32 is dropping. And so if the market takes its time falling, I'm still going to expect a 209.25, but I want to show you what could be the outcome here. And that is to say that closing below the rising 1/3 speed line, this is textbook, by the way, closing below the rising 1/3 speed line does indicate the rising 2/3 speed line that is now at 190.17. Now, it doesn't always play out that way. Sometimes you hit other meaningful support levels on the way down, like the 209.25 rising channel top that will over the next week converge with 220.50 anyway. So these are spreading apart, and then we have to decide what is the target. Well, it does become a bit stair-step, but I just want to underscore the fact that there's still going to be loads of support in this 190.17 to 203.32 region. This could be also a 2 to 3 week trade. It converges entirely the first week, or August 7th actually. And so I just want to present a possible scenario here where we do continue a little bit lower than just merely this 209.25, which rises into 220s in a week anyway. It may well be closing below 241.41. This may be the proper image that should be shown. This is what I think is possible. 190.17 to 203.32, narrowing gradually, one dropping, the other rising. They both converge entirely August 7th, and that timing is actually 2 weeks. That's actually quite perfect. So if we were to close below 241.41, I think you should allow for this area that will be pushing into the very low 200 region, 190.17 rising, 203.32 dropping. And over time, once again, 209.25 pulls away to the upside, and it will be considered at least a session containment level, possibly a weekly support level. And I will say that this lower area in the 190s 203 area, that is a 4-star support. If tested, once again, don't forget that 203.32 is on the weekly chart, 203.83. Able to contain selling through the rest of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. We could come off from here and round back up to the 328.12 formation. I don't know about 3 to 5 months anymore, but we've got a big pause if we close below a 241.41 today. We spend the next several weeks falling to at least 209.25, and quite possibly, as I say, this convergent 190.17 to 203.32 region. And then I don't see a V-shaped rally out of here, possible consolidation, then gradual rounding up. So we can, the 203, the last thing I'm going to say, by the way, the 203.83 level, while it can contain selling possibly through the rest of the year, if we happen to fall back and retest it, that certainly delays 328.12 by a month or two. And so, yes, possibly by the end of the year still. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think there's really anything else that needs to be said. I'm going to leave you with this chart is the most appropriate for the day. Keep in mind, if we break 241.41, I guess that's not the last chart of the day. Breaking 241.41, 231.30 likely. Closing below 241.41, 220.50, likely within 3 to 5 days. Over the next couple of weeks, this region. And over the next couple of weeks, this is rising, this is dropping. Our ultimate outcome with a settlement today below 241.41 may well be this upper 190s, low 200s. So if we close below 241.41, you might reach for 200 strike out of the money puts that don't expire. I would go a couple of months out at expiration. Until then, it is buy pullbacks in Tesla as we move into August. 241.41 341. From here, we can round up into the low to upper 270s over the next week or two. And yes, the 328.12 region over the next few months. I think I'm going to leave it at that, and I will finally leave you with this chart for the day. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. I will be back tomorrow with Thursday's Tesla report, and you have a great day.